Welcome back to the Open Hearts Book Club. I'm your co-host, Sadi.
And I'm your co-host, Steph.
And for December's book club pick of the month, we read The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. I know, I don't want to get into it just yet. So if you're unfamiliar with our podcast and what this format is once a month, we invite our listeners to read a book alongside us, and then we review that book within the first week of the month. So if you want to join us next month, we're
reading More Than Life.
Oh, right.
By Bethany Finger.
I'm very excited for that one. Hey, Bethany.
Yeah.
But yeah, so The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. I'm going to do a quick little recap if you are unfamiliar with this novel, so that if you want to read it, you can go take a pause here, go read it. But then after that recap, we're going to get into it. We got some spoilers. So
a lot of spoilers.
But The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon is about a protagonist named Cinnamon, who is a cinnamon farmer who gets wasted one night during a festival and saves a demon. And that sends her off on a long quest to help save other demons. It's very spicy. It's super erotic and
also strangely gory.
Super gory.
Be prepared for that too.
But it's like a hoot and a holler, a romp and a riot. I think if you like something that's like very easy entry, brain off fiction, I guess is like the category I would give it.
Also kind of a good introduction to like monster fucker romance, I would say too. Like still humanoid enough to dip your toe in the water and see if you like it.
It's got a BIPOC protagonist. We've got a BIPOC author. So overall, that is The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. So you've been warned. Spoilers ahead. Steph, what did you think about this novel? What did you rate it?
Well, golly. You texted me and you're like, do you think we actually hate reading? Because we like have not rated our books, like most of the books that we've read, very highly. And we're going to continue the trend with that because I rated this a 1 out of 5. I went into this so excited because I liked the idea of a really like low stakes, fun, but still adventure and romance. And I just, there wasn't enough to it. Like that aspect of the book was not enough for me because beyond that, it was just like a lot of instantaneous things happening. Romance obviously being one of them, but the other one being there's so many characters whose like core belief is getting shaken and they just immediately accept it for the truth, which is wild to me. And I think it's like, I think the intention was because this is supposed to be more of a like romp and a riot, low stakes book, but I don't think that just because a book is like silly goofy that it should just get to do whatever it wants with the plot in that way. So I definitely took issue with that. And then I think another one of my like biggest issues was that oh my gosh, lost my thought for a second. It'll come back to me. Well, I'll come back to that. But the romance between Sin and Fallon, yes, because we had a cherry in this book too. It was just there. I did nothing for me because once again, it was so fast. 4 days in, he's calling her my love. Like 4 days into them knowing each other, calling her my love and being like, I'm going to make you my wife. I
was so mad at the end when it was a surprise. Actually, you're my mate reveal. I wanted to throw the book across. I was so mad.
Yes, agreed. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention was just like, it was supposed to be sort of reluctant heroine, but it didn't feel that way at all. She kind of griped for 1 second, but then she would go, oh, but I guess I have to do this because like, otherwise you won't protect my family. Like it was almost her supplying the reasons why she had to go along with it rather than him being the one to actually be like, well, if you don't do this, then like, this is what's going to happen because we want to preserve him as a good guy. So I have a lot more thoughts and we'll get into it, but yeah, I will leave it at this book just was not for me. Would love to hear your thoughts on it.
I think this book has made me have to reevaluate all the other ratings that I've given other books. Like I was way too harsh on The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea.
I agreed.
In like that book now for me is like a 3-star read. That was a decent, that was a romp and a riot.
Also bump up Vampires of El Norte as well.
Yeah, 4.5, 5. Like, that was a good book.
Yes.
This, I want to be cognizant because, yeah, this is a BIPOC author. We rarely see very popular romance novels written by people of color, especially on Book Talk.
Yes.
And this was like a Book Talk darling for a bit. People were so excited about this series in general. And so, like, I think that's an incredible accomplishment to have, and like, good on you, Kimberly. But at the same time, this might be the worst book I read this year. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I tend to be hyperbolic about stuff, but this is, I think, like, the worst novel I've read this year. And it doesn't help that I just finished probably my favorite read of the year.
Yeah.
I just read, it's such a good novel. I probably will go on a tangent on like TikTok about this. Kushiel's Dart by Jacqueline Carey.
It's good.
Oh my God. I was on the couch like last week crying at the end of the book. It was so good. It's like this high fantasy novel that isn't just like dragons and warfare. It's something so much more interesting about BDSM and like a woman who gives herself up to SW work. I guess work is in the name, but you know what I mean. And the magic system is so good. And it has, I just realized this last night, that it had the bodyguard trope and the toucher and die trope.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize it. I loved it so much that I was like, oh my God, it did the thing that I hate. And it did it so well that I liked it.
Yes.
And now I have an example of a version that I like of those. So that's like why it's not fair to this book that I just read something so good and now I'm reading this.
That's fair, because I also read a book that I really, really loved right before I read this book. So perhaps that's also somewhat where our criticisms are coming from.
And we'll get more into it because we really do have to talk about the writing of this novel.
Yes.
In a lot of these books that we've reviewed, I think we've kind of given it a point blank, like, the writing is fine. It's okay. It's passable. I think this is the first one that we're going to have to sit down and be like,
the writing was
why the writing is bad.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, it reads like mid-tier fan fiction.
Yes. Yes.
And if we can get into it now.
Yeah.
We were both fan fiction girlies. I've been reading fan fiction since the ripe age of like 8 years old. Like, I was on fanfiction.net.
I'm on AO3. I'm on
like,
Wattpad.
Wattpad, searching up, Sasuke, Sakura fan fiction. And fan fiction in terms of like writing quality can vary from like crack fic, ha ha ha, and every other word is a spelling mistake, to the most beautiful, incredible prose you've ever read. But the reason that you go onto fanfiction.net is that you already know the characters, or you already know the trope that you're trying to read.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to fanfiction, I'm not asking a lot of these authors, because what I want is like, oh, I just want to read a great novel about Naruto and Sasuke realizing that they're in love with each other.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, I've read a lot of Naruto fanfiction. And so I don't need that fanfiction author to like build out the world, and I don't need that fanfiction author to really dive into the relationships, because I kind of already know that. That's the whole setup.
Yeah.
And so if the writing is mid-tier, it's because it's lacking in a lot of background and world building that I've already brought into it as a reader.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what this book does a lot, where it feels like if these two had been like different characters that I cared about coming into it, what a fun fan fiction to have read.
Sure.
But because they're their own people, I'm like, why do I care about any of these guys?
Exactly.
And so it really reads like fan fiction in that I should have already liked them before I started reading this book.
Yeah.
To be brought into their love story.
I think this is a good transition I have like just some high level notes of things that would be fun for us to talk about. And one of the ones that I have is that it's very instant everything. And I think it goes along with the fact that it's like, we don't know these characters. We don't have an attachment to them. So that when it's very instant, like love, it doesn't leave me feeling any type of way, because why do I care about these characters? What do I even know about these characters? But yeah, they obviously very instant love. As I mentioned, Fallon starts calling her my love 4 days into them knowing each other.
Which, again, it's retcon with the whole, like, I knew that you were my mate, so that's why I loved you the moment I saw you. And you go, this was not satisfying.
Right. And especially the way that they talk about mates in this book, right? Because it is kind of a instinctual knowing, but it isn't a for sure thing until both parties have sort of accepted and they mark.
We talked a lot about it on our Patreon episode with the fated mates hippotrope. And one thing that our dear friend Erin kind of corrected us on was with like the whole alpha omega thing. That's a lot more like I choose you, I'm picking you, not like, oh, you are just my mate. I'm choosing you to be my mate, which is kind of what this felt like.
But then why are we getting instant romance?
Yeah.
It's also just very, what did Sin do that made the instant romance happen? Because all that really happened up until this point was he briefly met her family and then they set off on this adventure together.
She made a shrimp boil.
A crawfish boil.
You're right.
And then killed an alligator, and they ate that, and he goes, I'm making you my wife. And to me, it could have been excusable for him to be that way, because as, they get into it, they start talking to other demons. It does seem like some of them are like, well, yeah, you just kind of pick the strongest person, and that's a good mate for you.
Yeah.
Or you're like a good person to settle down with.
And there are very few women, so.
Right, exactly. So on his end, maybe it makes sense, but like, have Sin have some amount of pause to be like, huh? What are you talking about? Also, I think this happens. I'm going to check myself to see if I have a note on this, but I believe this happens almost immediately after they get attacked by bandits who are making comments that they're going to
S.A. her?
What are we doing? What? That from there to let's get naked and bathe in here. I'm gonna make you my wife. And then he goes on this tangent talking about all the things that he wants to do to her sexually. Made me so icked out.
Yes.
That was insanity.
Well, okay. So back to the fan fiction of it all. It really felt like this author had an idea, sat down at their computer, wrote down every, like, this would be cool, and here's the context of everything, and then just corrected everything for spelling and grammar and did not do a second pass at this. Right. Because, again, with the fan fiction writing of it, Sin will immediately lore drop something and then immediately be like, and that's the explanation for this. So anyways, the next thing. And you're like, that's not good writing.
That you hit the nail on the head with that. There's no sense of continuity with any of these thoughts.
Right. And like the reason that feels fan fiction-y is because fan fiction tends to be episodic of like, I wrote this chapter this week and then 2 weeks later I wrote another chapter. Right. And you rarely have in fan fiction, unless it's like, highbrow fan fiction, someone going back and being like, oh, let's like put the pieces together, let's thread a fun through line. It's like, no, this week I thought that it would be really fun if they met bandits on the road so that we could do a touch her or die scenario. Right. And then in that, I'm going to introduce a new concept where actually this is the world building. And you go, okay, that is hard now because what you've just said should influence how people acted a couple chapters back. But this author didn't do that. They just went, okay, cool, good enough. On to the next thing.
Yes, exactly that. And it kind of comes up with some of Cinnamon's trauma with her sister Cherry, where Cinnamon's sister Cherry passed away. Cinnamon used to have this sort of zest for life, wanted to go and be an adventurer, wanted to do bigger things. And then her and Cherry, and I believe their brothers as well, went out and started exploring and went further past their hometown than they had ever been before. And Cinnamon's sister ends up dying in a pretty traumatic way. Yeah. Cinnamon is also reluctant to sort of give in and go on these adventures because of Cherry's death. But then kind of on top of that, she's dating this guy, Glenn, and he ends up breaking up with Cinnamon after Cherry's death because she becomes too boring. She basically doesn't want this life of adventure anymore. Oh. And once again, it seems like Cherry's death serves as a like, oh, and then this crappy thing happened in my relationship as a result of her death. And now this is informing why I'm not immediately wanting to jump into a relationship with Fallon, even though I'm attracted to him, because I have these worries that he's also going to think that I'm too boring after all of this is done. And I don't want to do like the adventure thing anymore. Yeah. And then they don't talk about Cherry again for the rest of the book outside of quick like snippets of her being somewhere and her being like, oh, Cherry would have loved this. They never touch on that again in the book, which I get it. It's a shorter book. But if this is going to be this big plot point for Cinnamon's character, then you can't, again, it just feels so hollow to be like the purpose was to make her a reluctant heroine and to make sure that she doesn't immediately get into a relationship with someone.
The author had this idea of a reluctant heroine in the beginning and then forgot that that was what she was trying to do. Yes. And so by the end, Cinnamon, it's not a character arc. It's not that Cinnamon has learned that it's actually important to go out there and she shouldn't let her trauma and like define who she is.
Right.
It's just that Cinnamon forgot that this was something that she was holding on to as trauma, and then this is just the character as she is now.
Right.
It reads as the author initially had this idea of, oh, my sister died in a tragic way, and that's why. But I haven't figured that out yet. And then we get to a chapter where Cinnamon is in like a swamp, and this like demon dog creature pulls her into the swamp, and in it she goes, "This was how Cherry died."
Yeah.
And I go, "Wait, what? There's no you didn't think about that when you went into the swamp?" Like a better author would have hinted at it of like, I've been so hesitant to be in the swamp. I'm so on guard. And she does do that, but not in the context of, because I saw Cherry got taken by this dog demon. She just goes, well, there's noises in the woods and that's scary.
Yeah.
So like halfway through, it's like, it really felt like Kimberly went, oh, and this could be why Cherry died. And that's why it's even more traumatic. And you go,
right.
Okay, so you're not connecting the dots of any of your plot points here. You just think it's a fun, cool thing in this one scene.
Right.
And they're going to forget about it moving forward.
Right. Once again, trauma makes this heroine more likable and like, oh, what a sweet moment for Fallon to like protect her and take care of her.
Yeah.
She also, if this is how her sister died, she should be 10 times more traumatized after this experience of, oh wow, not only is that how my sister died, also this demon disguised itself as my sister that got killed by one of these similar demons, and then I almost died the same way that my sister did, if not for Fallon. Like the immediate, this is, again, it goes
and
back to that
no
instant like
moment where she wants to go back home. Because we have this reluctant heroine who's like, I didn't want to be on this journey. I never wanted to go on a quest. I never want to be the chosen one. The first time she encounters an issue, that should be something that really challenges her.
Yes.
And that should be the thing where she's like, I can't do this anymore. Like, that was really difficult.
Yes.
Watching basically my sister die all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this. Find somebody else. But no, she deals with it by cuddling up next to him, having a naked bath with him. Killing an alligator,
cooking up some alligator,
and it's all dandy. They go on their adventure.
Yeah.
We keep saying reluctant heroine because the first chapter of this novel, Cinnamon, because it's from the first person POV, tells us, right, that every 15 years, demons come into their country, and 4 chosen people are selected to fight off those demons. And Cinnamon's whole thing is, I don't want to be a chosen one. Mm-hmm. I want to do whatever it takes to blend into the background. Chosen ones are usually like beautiful, bombastic people. Please, 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 for like God, let it not be me.
Yeah.
And then she gets chosen on this adventure with her demon guy, and that like motivation completely goes out the window.
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. I like that you brought up too, there's no sense of homesickness really, because also at the very end of the novel they get shipwrecked on this like a random island, and she makes some comment of like, I want to spend at least a couple months on this island before I return home. And in my head I'm going, okay, so you're not like, you don't want to immediately like, okay, come back to this island for sure, it sounds great. Your first instinct isn't to go back home and be home for a little bit after this long adventure that you've taken. Also, to let your family know that you're not dead, by the way, because there's no way you like contacted them throughout all of this. So
the epilogue is them returning home. It should have just been them going back to that ass island.
Exactly. I think this also ties into, again, this is supposed to be sort of a low stakes, almost rom-com adventure. With that in mind, I feel like that's somewhat why these darker, deeper themes aren't handled as well, because the tone of the book is completely different from that happening.
If this was a simple go and retrieve the demon's MacGuffin,
mm-hmm.
In order for me to have full power, I need my special necklace, then we can have such a silly kind of casual tone.
Yeah.
But it's, let's do this to save the entire world.
Right.
And they're treating people being beheaded in front of them as like a hee hee ha ha thing. Right. There are moments where Cinnamon is like, oh my God, that was terrifying. I'm going to bone him later. You go, oh,
yeah.
No.
Or she's so like, don't kill people, Fallon. Don't kill people, Fallon. Oh, but those guys are rapists, so you can kill them. And it's like, what are we doing here? I'm not saying that like because it's a like romantic comedy kind of book that you can't have any darker themes, but I do think that the level of gore, the amount of like very unsettling things of essay, there's slavery in this, like the death of a family member, all of these, like the amount of serious like themes throughout this very unserious book feels incredibly jarring, and I think added to the fact that it felt so choppy and like inconsistent kind of throughout too.
One thing we haven't mentioned yet either is the character voices in this. They use a lot of like modern vocabulary. I think at one point she says sus, like that's hella sus. She goes, "Hey bro, don't do that."
Yeah.
So they're using kind of like Gen Z slang in this novel. And that's meant to kind of add to this sort of like whimsical tone of like, we're just on like a fun, silly, cutesy, medieval fantasy adventure. But then at the same time, we're dealing with like liches.
Yeah.
We're killing people on the side of the road. And it's just so jarring that she uses such anachronistic language in this fantasy setting, because especially she's one of the only people who talks that way.
Yeah.
Everybody else is kind of ye olde Englishing it up. And then she's like, "That's cat, fam." Like, wait, huh?
I did have a note too, because beyond it just having modern slang, there's also modern amenities in certain instances. And I wrote down a bathtub. I can believe when in a world where there's magic, they have magic systems that can have plumbing, and then she sort of explains away. And the water's hot because Fallon can make the water hot. Okay, fine, that's fair. She goes and buys food from a vendor.
Oh my god!
And it's nachos.
Yeah.
And they call it nachos. And that, I don't know why, made me so like angry. Like way more angry than I should have been in proportion to there just being nachos in a book. But I seriously had to shut my book and like walk away for a second.
I was already getting mad at the crawfish boil because she says a lot of like, "Holy hot peppers." Or yes. I think she goes, something filet powder. And I don't know, it's something you use in like gumbo and crawfish boils and stew. And I'm like, so what? Cajun Louisiana exists in this world? Like,
she's from the bayou, so kinda.
I guess so. It's, oh gosh, it's a hard line to pivot, and I'm being harsh on Kimberly because she does a terrible job at it. But in general, it's hard to be like, well, so technically France doesn't exist in my fantasy world, but I do need something that's the equivalent of tool. So like, do I just use the word tool even though France doesn't exist? Or do I make up a fake fantasy word for it, which is more complicated? So like, you pick and choose. Right. But nachos is egregious.
Nachos is egregious. Also, it added nothing to the story. It was literally just this weird little side quest of, okay, well, I gotta sort of kill time while Usha and Fallon distract these guys at, I don't even remember, it was in
Wizard
the
Mage
Wandermere
Guild.
town, the guild. So I'm gonna like get some food. Oh my gosh, what are these things? They call them nachos. They're so good, blah, blah, blah. And then this leads her to stumbling upon demons being treated badly by people. And it's just, you just cut out that portion. We don't need that portion. We don't need her to discover nachos. What are we doing?
We were complaining a lot about quirky millennial character types in other novels. I should have saved that for this because she is the quirkiest little quirky girl in the whole quirking world.
She's saying confuzzled for sure.
For sure.
This is a total tangent and we can cut it out of the episode, but I saw a video the other day of someone being like, the well-intentioned millennial at your office, and it's like, I gotta get home to my doggos. And somebody in the comments went, "Thank you for saying well-intentioned. I had to watch 9/11 in my homeroom."
That's the best comeback to anybody who makes fun of millennials. Be like, I had to watch 9/11.
Yeah. Hey, if
they
put that on TV.
There's a reason here. Yeah, they put that on TV.
I was sitting in school just watching this, just watching it on TV.
Oh my god. Time for us to talk about our 9/11 story. So we were
speaking of character trauma. I had to witness 9/11, so that's why I'm like this.
I'm sure there's an equivalent in this book. They had a 9/11 in this too, and that's why she is so quirky. But yeah, so Cinnamon, first of all, Cinnamon's siblings are Cumin, Chili, Cinnamon, and Cherry.
Cherry.
They have a cinnamon farm and they sell chili peppers. So those are the two favorites, I would presume.
Right.
If I was in that family, I'd go, so you named me Cumin. Do you hate me?
What's that all about?
What's that all about? Cherry? She's the odd one out. She's not even a spice.
Yeah.
No wonder she got killed off.
She had it coming, actually, being the odd one out.
Yeah, so, like, we'll get more into stuff, but basically, Cinnamon is celebrating at this town fair that this mean girl, I guess Priscilla, is going to go off to her death because she's the chosen one. Chosen ones don't come back. And this is what I'm saying with the lighthearted tone, but the heavy themes, where she's going on about how nobody likes Priscilla. Everyone thinks Priscilla sucks and she's obnoxious. And even like the blacksmith is chiming in to roast Priscilla.
Yeah.
And then in the next breath, she goes, but Priscilla's probably not going to make it back. And I do want her to be okay. I'm like, do you? Because you've been ragging on this girl.
Right.
You guys are all celebrating that she's leaving.
Right.
You guys are all celebrating that she's going to go to her death. I don't think you get to be the good person here when you're getting drunk and you're shit talking her.
Right.
To all your neighbors. And she's talking to her friend Bree, who's the cheesemonger.
I do like the name Bree, but I was like, yeah, we are very on the nose with the names in this book.
What would your name be according to this book?
Oh, Glenn.
No, your profession gets turned into, you'd be Pod, and I'd be Caster.
I'd be Pod and Cat. I was like, what? I was like,
what
does that have to do with graphic design?
I don't give away your career. No, the naming convention for this was really bad.
Yeah.
Glenn was bad.
Again, it's just like we have like Priscilla and Brie and Cinnamon and then Glenn. Glenn.
So yeah, they're celebrating. She's drunk. Cinnamon is drunk. She goes to her farm, and on the way, a neighbor boy tries to harass her. She's chasing him through the woods. She sees a guy on the side of the road. She helps him up. It's a demon. The demon's chasing her through the woods. She hits him with a cinnamon stick because she's quirky. And then I guess cinnamon is the thing that like saves all demons, which isn't that beautiful? Cinnamon is the one. And so we find out that like the goddess of this land is actually a lich.
Yeah.
And they have a bunch of phylacteries that they have to go around the world and break, and that's kind of the romping adventure. But again, we're told so much that Cinnamon doesn't want to go on this adventure.
Right.
And this demon Fallon is basically saying, well, I can protect your family if you save the world.
Which his whole thing, she has a moment of like, how can I know that you'll actually do this when I do it? And he goes, demons always keep their word. And that's it. That's all she needs.
Yeah.
I'm going, no, like, but do some pact or something with me that holds you to, like, makes you beholden to this.
It feels like they did make a pact later because partway through they quickly insta love. Mm-hmm. And they do a point system. So if he can get to 100 points or 1,000 points, she'll marry him. Haha, how quirky. And he is like, deal. Let's shake on it. This is a deal. And I'm like, oh, so deals are a thing. Right. Why didn't you just make a deal from the very beginning? Mm-hmm. And that's why she's beholden to this quest.
Yes.
Not just that she forgot her motivation partway through. It's that she actually made a pact with the demon or devil.
And this can bring us to the insta acceptance of it all in this book, because it's going, oh yeah, a demon who, I guess we're never really fully told the lore of demons, but at this point in the book, her complete understanding of demons is that they are after humans. So why are you so immediately trusting of his words when you've been raised to believe that demons are not good? Okay, she believes him. She then sees for herself when she breaks the first phylactery. So he basically is like, go to this temple of this god that you've been worshiping your entire life, throw this necklace in to reveal that she's actually a lich, and then break her cup. And Cinnamon goes, okay, like what's the harm in trying? And then she does. Obviously, this woman is bad. But then her like recovery of, oh my god, my entire life and belief system is a lie, is, like you said, insta acceptance. She goes, okay, so she is bad. Now we must do the rest. And the rest of the characters too, by the way. She's going ahead and starting to talk. This comes down to, she's saying things that are challenging core belief systems that characters have.
Yeah.
One being that Maiva is not a goddess, but in fact a lich. The other one being there is demon slavery going on.
Demons are sentient creatures who actually have their own like thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it's been pitched in specifically this town Wandermere, and I'm assuming a lot of other places where there might be demons, is that they're not really thinking sentient beings. We can use them to whatever purpose we have for them.
Right, like how you sell cattle.
Yeah, exactly. And she's going around and being like, that's not true. Maiva's not a goddess. Demons are thinking beings, and almost every single character across the board that she's having these conversations with immediately accepts what she's saying without questioning it at all. And to the point where when there are characters that question, they're almost villainized. Like when she does eventually get to the last chalice and she meets up with the 4 chosen heroes, she has to explain to them, hey, demons are not the bad guys, it's actually Maiva. And they immediately are like, you're
brainwashed.
Yeah, by these demons. Yeah. And they're villainized then, outside of like Priscilla, who eventually comes around to, oh no, I think she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are like, you're not telling the truth. And I think that makes sense. I think that's completely reasonable.
I think that's a very reasonable thing of, this is what we've been taught our entire lives. And one random girl from my hometown is not, with one statement, is not going to suddenly change my core belief system.
Right.
But in this book, it really is like, if you haven't immediately changed your mind about the way you've lived your entire life, you are in the wrong.
Yep.
And it's not like we talked about, it's not the like showing of, oh, demons are sentient creatures or whatever. It's like, oh, when we've freed them and now you can see that they're sentient, and now people are like, oh, that's really bad, I'm sorry we engage in slavery. It's I'm telling you right now they're sentient and you just have to accept it. And if you don't, my boyfriend, who's also a dragon, is going to rip your head off.
Right, exactly.
And that I guess is justice.
I guess so.
This is meant to be kind of a feel-good book. And so in feel-good novels, you want everybody who is the good guy to immediately be the good guy. There's a character named Usha who's a tavern keeper who's one of the first people who is told Maiva is a lich. She's like listening in on our characters talking. And instead of going, that can't be real, that's impossible, she immediately is like, okay, I accept everything you guys are saying as truth, because she's a good guy. She's a good character, and all good characters are able to discern the truth of goodness immediately when they hear it. And she's, like, again, immediately on board with our main character's plans to free the demons in her town. Yeah. A town, presumably, she's been living in forever.
Yeah. Also, Usha's getting her own book, as if we couldn't have seen that.
I'm assuming it's with the werewolf.
The snake guy.
Oh, right,
Ambrose.
with the snake.
Yeah.
Then I think Bree is going to get with the werewolf.
I think that is because that book's already out.
Oh.
So there are, like, I want to say 3 other books. The 4th one that is being worked on, or like is going to come out somewhat soon, that is going to be with Usha and Ambrose.
Oh, okay.
There is one with the werewolf guy. I don't know. I don't know if it's her friend or not.
Oh, well.
And then there's like another one that I'm assuming probably comes off of that second book with the werewolf, of like, it's like a demon saving a human this time around or something. But yeah, it feels like, okay, yeah, we the author in her head went, I want this character to be a main character, so she also needs to be fundamentally good immediately without...
Which is such a boring take on any character.
Right.
Our favorite characters are the ones who have to have, not have to, but like do have sort of complicated relationships with the systems in which they work within. Like Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender is one of our favorite redemption arcs. And it's not because he immediately was told, actually, the Fire Nation is bad. And he goes, you know what? You guys are right. I'm going to join your team. He's had to actually look at the systems that he has perpetuated and think about why they are bad, and then atone and repent and accept. But none of these characters have to do that. And if you don't want your characters to do that, then don't have such a high stake to all of this. It again could have just been a silly romp and a riot of a human and a demon, 2 people from different worlds having to go on a little la-di-da adventure to go get, I don't know, a necklace.
Yeah.
But if you're doing a thing of, oh, well, actually she's going around and unshackling all of these demons from their chains of slavery. And I feel like it should be a little bit more nuanced to how you're portraying the characters who, whether or not they meant it, like perpetuated that slavery. Like Usha has been living amongst demons for how long now? And she never once was like worried about being attacked or harmed. I'm sure she has seen firsthand what happens if you let a demon loose, because in this world, the demons are like not in control of their own minds and bodies. This goddess Maiva has basically turned them into feral animals, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And so if you're around these creatures for what, like 30 years now, and they are beasts, like feral animals, and suddenly they gain sentience, you're immediately trusting of them.
Yeah.
There's no prejudice whatsoever.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't know.
Also, no, I think that's a great point to make too. Also, just the way that Cinnamon comes to the realization that demons are slaves here, like it's sort of revealed to her, and almost verbatim she goes, "Damn, that's crazy." Like almost verbatim, it's like the most lukewarm reaction. Granted, yes, the rest of the book is her going, "No, I really want to do this because you know, I want to also free all of these demons from Maiva's influence and from being kept as slaves by humans." But what a weird reaction to this horrible thing that's going on.
I just jumped to a random page. I'm going to read to you how she reacts to finding out that this snake creature has sentience. "Oh, my fillet powder. There's a giant snake man at the end of this rope. Oh, my swamp spiders. Why me?" She just freed this guy from slavery, and this is her reaction. And so, like, that is, I would say, like, kind of her reaction to every bad thing that happens in this book.
And it comes back to, I know we've been harping on it, but once again, just the very laissez-faire, goofy tone this book has, even when dealing with these serious themes.
So the snake is, like, constricting her, like, kind of killing her. So doesn't know what to do. And she goes, "My name is Cinnamon. I'm a spice farmer traveling with another demon to destroy Maiva's phylactery. He wants to kill her for good, and I'm honestly fine with that because she seems like a real prick. I freed you because slavery is wrong. I'm also terrified of snakes and being squeezed to death, so please let go."
Exactly. This is the passage I had in mind when we were talking about the writing style, because I read that, and again, it was another moment where I had to just close the book and walk away. What are we doing here?
This is how people talk. This is like people talk.
This is how I talk to you all the time. I say every single thing that comes into my head.
She seems like a real prick, and I'm afraid of snakes. So please let me go.
Yay! I don't want to die, buddy. But it comes down to the demons too, though, right? In this book, we've talked about how the humans are very quick to accept the demons too. She frees these two demons, and even though all their life, assumedly, these humans have been treating them poorly, because she decided to free them, they're immediately besties with her. It could just be a quick, like, "Cool, you freed me. I'm getting out of here."
Or, again, the immediate acceptance is so unsatisfying. Mm-hmm. It would be one thing if they were freed and then they left, and maybe they were watching her from afar. She feels this, like, sense of somebody's been following them, and she then later realized it's these two goons. Yeah. And they're like, "We wanted to see what you were about, and we kind of, like, really believe in your cause, and we want to fight with you alongside you." But it's just immediately they go, "Okay, cool, I'm freed. And what am I going to do with my freedom?" Immediately shackle myself to another person. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
God. And it's because our character is so good and wonderful. And some moments I was imagining, sorry, that was a weird phrasing. Sometimes I imagine part of these passages as, like, an anime. Mm-hmm. And it works because there's sort of a ridiculousness to anime and an info dumping nature to anime. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be, like, a highbrow by any means, but just any generic anime you see on, like, Crunchyroll, like, this could fit the bill for that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not entertained by that either.
No. The time I got turned into a slime.
Yeah, the time I would turn into a vending machine and go on my adventuring party. Like, it's that vibes of, "Oh my God, I can't believe we have to deal with this situation now. Yeah. What are we going to do?" And then we have an episode where she frees these two guys, and now they're part of the main party. Yeah. We don't look at their backstories at all. We don't question it whatsoever. Weird snake pervert is freaking on, the human on the only other human woman on the ship. And that is just something that we deal with in the background of our anime.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about how Cinnamon is just immediately good at fighting?
Girl, for somebody who really did not want to go on an adventure and really did not want to be the chosen one.
Or give us some background on that, right? You've been doing so many lore dumps. Just have some. Well, she did want to become an adventurer, though, until Cherry died. So
Sure.
because of that, she has been, whatever, like training to be an adventurer, and that's why she's good at these things. Give us some explanation, some reasoning for why she's good at it. Or even easier yet, make it a progression. The earlier fights, she's not so good, but by the end of the book, she's getting better at fighting, and
Right.
that's why it makes sense.
I mean, her main weapon is throwing apples at people. She keeps like going under her skirt and throwing an apple at a bad guy, and it's, I guess,
I pull out an apple right now.
sorry, I keep coughing, but it's like, what, this dude has a knife at her, wants to legitimately kill her, and the tone is so off because he is saying heinous things about how he's gonna slaughter her, and she's just chucking apples at him.
Yeah, she pulls out a bow and arrow at one point and goes, "My dad taught me how to use this." We never see the bow and arrow again. I feel like
she used it in one scene.
Oh, with the dragon.
Yeah,
the other dragon.
The other dragon, which that was also like, why is there a cup in his hair?
Their explanation for that is Maiva's getting desperate.
Yeah.
Okay, you just
Maiva decided that her third phylactery is going to be attached to the dragon that she sends to fight them, so that it's easier for them to get the cup. Like what kind of logic is this? The villains in these novels are comically stupid, and it's pissing me off.
Everyone in this was you've touched on this in other books where it's almost like everyone else has to be a dunce, so that the heroine is smart. Because there's also, it's such a silly thing that at the very end of the book too, Fallon is really worried for her safety because she gets, effed up in the last fight. And he is kind of like, well, we need to stay on this island until your powers fully take over so that you can be protected. And she just goes, can't you just like make some sort of little protection charm and put it on me?
And he goes, oh, doy, I should have remembered that.
What are we doing?
This 124-year-old dragon couldn't think of this on his own. It took her to point out that actually you have magic and you can do protection spells on me.
Yep.
Oh, that really bothered me.
It's like, well, you said you were going to protect my village. Can't you just do something to protect just me? Yeah, girl. Yeah, girlie. Like, it falls into the same trap as Girl Beneath the Sea. Why is this teen girl telling these gods who are, centuries old, dropping knowledge on them?
Obvious knowledge on them.
This book does that too.
Cinnamon found deep lore within the Lich's, dominion. It's just that she used her head for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And came up with this idea.
Or like, we've seen that perhaps demons are like slightly less empathetic. They have a little bit more of an animal nature. Like in Fallon being okay with just killing people for doing the bare minimum, like, whatever. Like there was the one family that Cinnamon's family's beefing with or whatever, and the guy like breaks her arm and he goes to kill her, and she's like, you can't just kill people like that. So like, yeah, maybe the knowledge is some form of emotional intelligence and that would be acceptable, but like obvious stuff like that is a crazy decision. And what does it make us know about Cinnamon that we don't already get about her to have her do something like that?
Yeah. Cinnamon isn't unlikable, but she isn't likable either.
Yes.
She's just sort of there and quirky. I mean, I guess she is a little unlikable because a lot of the euphemisms she uses are so annoying. Holy hot peppers. Dude, do we talk like this?
I hope not. And if we do, put me down.
How many people in the world say like holy guacamole?
Once again, it's the millennial cringe of it all.
I'm bringing that back.
Totes my goats.
The romance between Fallon and Cinnamon.
I don't give a shit or a
I was really stretching my imagination of, okay, if this character was, let's use Sakura and Sasuke fan fiction, would this have worked for me? Is there enough to their romance that if I read a fan fiction where Sakura is a cinnamon farmer and Sasuke is a dragon, would I have enjoyed this? And I think this would have been a fine 30 minutes of my life to get through. But that's only because I already, kind of understand the romance there.
Right. Again, going back to fan fictions, these are usually pre-established characters from something else, so you already have backstory there. We don't have that in this novel.
We don't even know what Cinnamon likes about Fallon, other than the fact that he has washboard abs and a huge dang. He'd be slaying in that thing.
He'd be slaying her with his dragon danger.
Which, yeah, again, great dip into monster romance, because there's really nothing about him that is dragon in nature in terms of their sex life.
No.
It's just that he is a man who can sometimes turn into a dragon.
Right.
So if you like monster specifically for the monster part of this, I don't think this is going to do it for you.
No.
But if you are wondering and curious about it, I don't know.
Yeah. Again, a toe dipped into that pool.
Why are monster novels so bad? We've read a few of them and I hate them all.
Because we're not going far enough. We're not going far enough. We're doing a lot of the ones that it's like they're just human guys that are big and then they have a tail or something.
Yeah.
It's like we need to broaden our horizons.
Somebody please recommend like a really good high fantasy monster romance.
We do. I really want to read. I forgot what the name of it was, but you had posed it as an option.
The Spider.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll put that maybe on the list for later.
Yeah.
The monster. We got it.
Yes.
But I do want to read that. That one cover at least looked really awesome.
Yeah, I'm down. All right, we'll table that for later. Yeah. Going back to the romance between Cinnamon and Fallon, I literally just wrote, why do I care about them? The relationship was shallow and really built on nothing other than them being on this shared adventure together. But it comes down to, we've talked about, what characters are going to stay together after the end of the novel. I think they're going to stay together, but I don't think that it's for, like, because they have this solid foundation. I think it's just sort of like, we have chosen each other and that's that now.
I was thinking about this, and if we look at real life, there are thousands and millions of couples.
Mm-hmm.
Not every single one of them has to have this glorious, romantic, purposeful relationship for them to have been together.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just like, you're hot, we get along well enough, let's be together. The problem I have is I don't actually want to read those stories. And so many of these romance novels are those stories where it's like, you're hot and you think I'm really cool and you laugh at my jokes sometimes.
Yeah.
And like that is a lovely relationship to have in real life. Like that's me and my partner like didn't bond over our traumatic past. It's just like we get along really well and we really love each other. But if I'm reading a romance novel, I don't want to read that. I want to read something deep and meaningful and passionate.
But also you have base interests.
That's
you have
true.
Overlapping like moral codes, things like that. What do they have?
Things.
What do they have between each other? They don't know anything about each other. He's a demon. She's a human.
Right. We don't even get a sense, like, if we look at the various levels in which they could have connected, morality being a challenging thing for them and then them agreeing on it, where she's like, well, don't you feel some sort of kindredness with the demons in your life? Like, you're going this far to save demon lives. Can you not then extend that kind of understanding to how I feel about human lives?
Mm-hmm.
And then they have that kind of connection? No. Do they like the same things? I guess they both like crawfish.
Food, which, like, okay, fair enough. But beyond that, what?
Mm-hmm. It's truly just, you're hot and I find you attractive and I love your big bosoms and I love your meaty thighs.
There's not a lot of demon women, by the way.
I really hated that. If that was me, it would give me a complex where I'd be like, so you like me just because I'm available? Like,
right.
That makes me so sad.
So what was the thinking with that? Why are there not demon women? I don't understand what that added to the story either. Like, they were more susceptible to disease.
Well, it's the same thing with the alien cowboy where it's just...
We need a reason.
We need a reason why these demons are doinking humans and not other demons.
I mean, just they never had the opportunity before, though. Well, I guess maybe that's the complicated nature of it, right?
I'm also going to make the assumption that this author is straight.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of straight female authors want to write about, like, female monsters, like, with female genitalia.
Yeah.
They're like, it's fun if he has a scaly penis. But monster pussy, that is like a
what does that look like?
I'm not gay like that, so I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, speaking of gay, okay, I have somewhere there's some thoughts.
I guess there was one female monster. She was a centaur. But she also was just like, I'm not going to date anyone who's not a centaur. And the only other centaur here is my brother. So I'm glad they made that distinction and demons aren't like freaky like that.
Yeah. So I think that there is a huge push to have both like BIPOC and queer characters in books.
Mhm.
I think it's a great thing when it's done well.
Yeah.
I don't like when it's like, here's this random side character, and they're queer, by the way.
Mhm.
That does nothing. If we want it where it's like the whole meaning of having characters like this is for representation. If it's some random centaur that barely gets is brought up like over halfway through the book and then does nothing meaningful in the rest of the book and just has like, oh, we're sitting down, we're having girl talk. By the way, she's gay, and that's it. Just don't even have a quear character. Like this just feels like I want to
homophobic.
yeah, it feels like I want to say I have a queer character in here. So here you go. Like this is the equivalent to Target being like, here's our pride merch, you homosexual. Buy it.
Happy gay.
Yes.
This pride at Honda.
At Toyotathon,
Yeah.
you can kiss someone that's the same gender as
And
you.
you're gay.
If you have a Toyota, you're gay. Surprise.
Again, especially because it's a character who is so like unsexualized and is just there to be like a best friend to say, hey, you go get dicked down by your man.
I don't like dick though. I don't like it.
Mhm.
But you go, you, yay.
Yay.
Just-
Yay.
Just don't even have a queer character. This feels more insulting to have a character like this that's queer than just not having one
It's
at
like
all.
one scene and then you call it a day. And then she goes back to the box that she was put in. And you're letting you out to show that we like gay.
Right.
And then you can go
And then,
back.
all right, step aside.
I know enough of this. No, enough of this.
Hey, maybe she'll get her own book eventually. I'm not hopeful, but maybe.
Okay. Also, I don't think I'm ready to open my heart to half horse.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I am. Are we talking about monster? I don't know why. Like Dryder
Yeah.
feels better than Centaur to me, but it does.
There's like a bestialityness to Centaur,
Yeah.
whereas a spider,
It's just
I
a
don't know.
spider.
That's probably a lot easier to deal with. Now, that being said, we are not connoisseurs of the genre.
Yeah.
I want to get more into it out of like sheer curiosity.
Yeah.
And the Dryder looked really hot on that cover. Yes, I will admit that. Not the Dryder from Baldur's Gate.
No, although there is a following.
love that
Yeah.
one.
Hey, fair enough.
But-
hey, everyone's got their own tastes.
Coming back to it, so the sexual nature of this novel, it was truly insta wet.
She's got WAP.
Like they had a good amount of sex scenes. Like I'll give it that. This book is horny.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for someone to flick,
We got this, and also subscribe to our Patreon so you can watch our video about the worst sex scenes in books. Maybe it'll be for you.
maybe I say this all the time, especially with books with like super graphic sex scenes. If you're sober going into these sex scenes, like genuinely, if you're not horned up already, this is hard to get through.
Oh yeah.
And there is sort of a generic nature to all of the men in these novels that we keep reading, where even if they have a personality outside of the bedroom, once they start having sex, they all turn into robot alpha masculine brain Chad guy.
Yes.
Do you like it when I thrust my big hard cock into your big old tiggies?
Good girl.
Every time with the good girl. I'm tired of it.
I literally wrote down in my notes, I'm so sick of reading this alpha male character in books like this. Give me any other kind of character. Any other kind of character.
We mentioned this with Mate. It's like Fallon has very few options in terms of women. We can sort of make the assumption that he's had very few sexual experiences. Cinnamon, on the other hand, has had sexual experiences. And yet, when it comes to intercourse, Fallon is the one who is driving all of their interactions. Fallon is the one who's making moves and like turning her on. And never does Cinnamon seem to have like the like is ever the person that's driving their scenes.
Right. Yeah.
And it's so frustrating. It's so boring.
Yeah.
It's so boring. Honestly, we could play a game, and maybe we will, where I take all of the sexual things that these men have said, and I make you guess who said it. You're gonna get 0 of them because they're all the same. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. No, agreed. I just like I can't do it anymore. I can't read about any more alpha dudes. Like I need any other kind of male main character in a book. I've had enough, and I feel like that's a good point that you touched on too. Of Cinnamon's not really ever driving this, and the one instance where I thought she was going to, of like when they first sort of kind of make, I guess, the beginnings of their mate bond. It's like when she gets a bit of his magic, and it's like sex pollen to her.
It is basically sex pollen,
and then they're interrupted by the other dragon. So and then they doink on the island, but like not her pushing for it.
The marking thing, I'm so tired of marks.
I'm so
tired. So Fallon is like, when we decide to mate, I will mark you and you will be mine. And that happened in Mate Again. It's just, I get that there's like a feral primal nature to marking somebody that fits with the whole mate trope in general.
Yeah.
But it's so gross. And also he keeps calling her Rabbit.
Yeah, gross.
What's with these nicknames?
Again, it goes into the alpha man thing of like, I'm nicknaming you Rabbit because you're my prey. Gross.
Give him a nickname. Hey, face.
Get over here. Hey, worm.
I don't need enemies to lovers, but if we're doing reluctant heroine, make her a little bit more reluctant to go along with his shit.
Because again, when he's like 4 days in calling her my love, explaining in
You're gonna be my wife.
graphic detail the sexual things he wants to do to her shortly after these bandits are making horrible jeering like comments about what they're gonna do to her after they kill Fallon. She literally has a moment where she has to like rush over to the river and like dunk her head under the water to cool herself off, and the chapter ends with, I know by the end of this journey I'm gonna have a demon. Then what are we even doing all this pussyfooting for?
What happened to yearning?
What happened to
yearning? I've been seeing this all over my For You page, and I'm with the girlies that are asking, what happened to yearning? Because the Insta romance is so tiresome. It works with fan fiction because I already like Marceline and Princess Bubblegum. And so if they're immediately getting together, I'm like, that's what I came here for.
Right.
But in a book like this, there's not a single moment where they're just hoping to be together.
Right.
She already knows I'm going to end up with this guy. We already know they're going to end up together.
Yeah.
There's no moment where I get to like indulge in a little bit of pining and wanting and wishing.
Right.
Not a chance. He's like, you say the word, we're going to jump bones.
Mm-hmm.
And they have it, and there's a lack of satisfaction in it.
Yeah.
I don't feel that anything was accomplished. I don't feel very like, what's the word I'm trying to find? Like, not that I need to feel accomplished, but a book has to make me feel satisfied.
Yeah.
And I did not feel satisfied in their coupling.
I didn't care.
This is just fat material.
Yeah.
And it's fine. You're allowed to have fat material. But then
I argue that the yearning makes fat material better, though. Because once again, it makes it sexier and more satisfying when they finally do get together, when you've been like, come on already.
I'm kicking, screaming, giggling to myself more when there has been like chapters and chapters and chapters of tension, and it's a fade to black scene, than something like this where within 3 chapters he's got his whole hog in her. Yes. I go, okay, yeah, I guess you can just anybody. A one night stand exists, but the emotional satisfaction or even the physical satisfaction of that, like where do you? Okay,
I think that's what it gets into, right? Is it's like, I understand that romance books, it's really lovely to read about this beautiful romance that ensues between 2 characters and them finally getting together and having this beautiful romance between each other. But if we really want, like, that every single book doesn't have to be that. If we want to do a lighthearted, just quick little smutty book, it could just be that we're hooking up because we find each other attractive and we're not the love of each other's lives.
I have read like erotic novels where they do a great job of like keeping a very small, concise plot, and they really get to the point of the smut of it all.
Yeah.
And it works really well. They're not asking too much of their readers. They're saying like the authors themselves are acknowledging this is what you're here for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make it a great time for you.
Yeah.
And fan fictions do a very similar thing.
Yeah.
But this novels like this, and I don't know what this genre should be called, because it is a romance novel, but it's like a mix between a romance and like an erotic novel, where it truly just has set dressing for the romance.
Yeah.
And it's just meant to be porn. And that's okay.
Right.
It's okay that it's just meant to have that.
Right.
But then they want to introduce his big themes, like
right.
a goddess and a lich and slavery and all this stuff.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
What are we trying to accomplish here? Yeah, it's doing too much for not enough book. But honestly, I don't really want more book.
No.
I'm good. Like, even if the author were to explore some of these other things, I don't know that it would have necessarily made it better unless we are able to get a little bit more from the two main romance characters, you know?
Right. Like, in terms of the yearning, it's one thing for the characters to like get together and immediately recognize that was like the wrong thing to do. It's like one thing if Cinnamon's like, I really wanted to indulge in the sexual impulses that I have, and oh shit, now I have like an entire quest that I have to go on with this guy. It's gonna be really awkward.
Yeah.
And then you have like a funny miscommunication. It can be done really well where he's thinking, oh, we're together now, and being really protective of her, and she's like, no, dude, we were just hooking up.
Yeah.
But now I'm falling for you, or something like that.
Right.
But there's a way that you can drive yearning. If I was in her position and I got on this boat full of demons that all were thirsting after me.
So scared.
First of all, so scary.
So scared.
It's like kind of lampshaded in this, where there's like 3 women on a boat of all male demons.
Horned up.
Horny male demons. And they're just like, haha, don't worry. They would never go for you because you're with the dragon. And Usha can handle her own. And I go, can she?
Yeah.
Like, you are making light of a very scary situation. In any other book, this could be taken a lot more seriously with a lot more thoughtfulness. But in this book, you're just going, yeah, they could be essayed on this boat.
Anyway.
But if I'm Cinnamon and I'm finding out, okay, so there are very few demon women and all these demon men, without really knowing me very well, immediately want to be with me.
Right.
What makes my guy like me at all? But no, there's like a full confidence that...
Yeah. Or, okay, f*** it. Make it a love triangle. You've got so many options. Have another, like, demon be into you. Have it be whatever, the werewolf dude. And you guys are just all, like, you're starting to get along with him. And you're going, oh, wait, I'm actually having, like, there's actually some level of similarity here. Like, some level of common ground that we both have that I don't have with Fallon. And now I'm confused and whatever. Like, I think that what I'm starting to get really sick of is that a lot of books lean into traumatic backstory as the angst part for their books. And it could just be something so fun like a little love triangle to create angst instead.
People underutilize the love triangle.
Yeah, there's so much more fun ways to create angst. And especially, again, if we're having a more lighthearted book, like this makes way more sense as a angst point than... yeah, my sister died and then my boyfriend broke up with me and it's been really hard. And
but the obvious reason is slapping in the face of, can I be with a demon? Like, we are 2 different species. Culturally, I don't know if our love would ever be accepted. And I just don't, like, if one day, and this is a crazy thing I'm about to say, one day, like, I don't know, snakes could start talking and have legs. And it was like normal.
I'm fucking that snake.
This is a bad metaphor. But if I was in Cinnamon's position, I've lived my entire life amongst humans, and suddenly a hot demon shows up. I don't know necessarily if I'd be like, I can that. I might, for a very long time, see a demon as a separate being entirely and not see it as, like, a compatible complex. I'm just trying to say, like, what's the equivalent? Like, what's a crazy thing that could happen that would be like, what? Look at this snake with legs and go, yeah, I guess I could date the snake with legs. Like, there's so much angst already in just accepting this about yourself. Or like, I find this demon attractive. What does that say about me? it actually really freaks me out.
Right.
None of
Or
that.
hold on to the sister trauma, right? A demon killed my sister. Can I be with a demon?
Yeah.
What? There's absolutely no like
Mm-mm.
touching on that.
There's so many easy ways to interject even a little bit of like tension into their relationship, but the story doesn't want to do that. It just wants like a super easy happily ever after. And we've seen that with a lot of other monster romances, which is why the genre is really pissing me off.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is a good. So obviously we've talked a little bit about the fated mate trope in this. I did kind of want to touch on the touch her and die trope of it all because I feel like this is a trope that I kind of like. But as I read more and more touch her and die, the more and more frustrated I get and the more and more I dislike it because I feel like touch her and die used to be this really lovely, like just thing that kind of came up in the novel, like an instant of I'm protecting this person. And now it's almost formed from a trope into a character trait. And it's like not even just a character trait, the like one and only or the leading character trait of someone.
Yeah.
And I don't like that because to me that reads much more possession, obsession, rather than I'm genuinely trying to protect this person or like this actually scary thing came about and I'm like protecting her because I don't know if it really happens so much in this book, kind of, I guess, of like there's just so many instances I feel like with the touch her and die character that it's like another character has come and interacted with, you know, the person that they're beloved and they're like, get away from
you can't
from
even
them.
hug your friend because they're so
right.
It's really
it's icky.
It's in the name itself, where before this sort of like trope wasn't explicitly said. The character didn't actually say touch her and die or you die. It's just that like if somebody tried to harm the main character, this person would just be there to make sure it didn't happen. And in the actions themselves would be fine. But now we read these books and these characters are legitimately saying, if you touch her, I will carve your hand off and I will feed it down your mouth. And you go, oh, that's gross.
Yeah, okay. Also, like it's usually not that deep when they're saying it.
Yeah.
It's like their friend is hugging them and they're like, get your hands off my woman.
Ew. Don't touch my mate. And you're like,
ew.
That's my brother, dude. Like, chill.
Yes.
It's funny that you say that. And it's not fair to this book, I guess, but in Kushiel's Dart, they have this touch her or die trope. And it's done so well that I didn't realize like that's what I was reading. But one of the characters is our main character's sworn bodyguard. And they're both reluctant about it. Like neither of them likes it. In like the world building of it, both of the gods that they worship are kind of in opposition to one another. So neither of them want this relationship.
Yeah.
So even though, you know, he's her bodyguard, he does proactively, he's like sworn himself to her.
Yeah.
And so while he doesn't agree with the things that she does, he goes out of his way to make sure that no harm befalls her, even in comical situations where it is just like a friend hugging. It's not that he's going up to this person and saying, if you touch her again, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
It's him like having his hand by his sword and the main character being like, this guy's so annoying. Like it's just my friend hugging me. But it's that kind of like relationship that you feel really satisfied by when there is a moment where he does like take down the enemies to protect her and you go, you feel this in your bones. Like you are choosing to protect her every option you can. And their relationship is beautiful because I don't want to spoil it, but like he makes the choice every single day basically to protect her.
Yeah.
And it is a hard choice for him to do.
Yep.
And it's that angst that sort of drives the relationship. It's really lovely.
Yeah.
But like, also same thing like a bodyguard romance where normally I hate a bodyguard romance because I'm like, you're so unprofessional. But in this case, he's being extremely professional and that's what makes it so hot.
Yes.
But like the touch her or die thing can be done so well. And in this, it's truly just I have ownership over you. I've claimed you.
Yes.
You are mine.
Yes.
In a very possessive way.
Yep.
And not just truly in your well-being is the only thing I'm concerned with.
Right, exactly. And I think it's also becoming way more like commonplace that it's like the touch her and die and the alpha male main character are almost like they almost always go hand in hand now.
Yeah.
Whereas like I like an instance like that where it's like it's kind of in my job to have to do this rather than like something that I necessarily want to do. Or like on the other hand, I kind of like it when there's a character that is very not like alpha, almost like I don't want to say golden retriever energy because but that,
he's
and
not
then
the one leading the charge here.
something bad happens to like the person that they like, and that's when they go like insane. Like I like little switches like that where like it doesn't feel out of character. It feels like a moment is happening in the novel that warrants this behavior, and then it's like kind of over, rather than this like through line of like mine, gross.
And like in real life, I know this is a fantasy novel, but like in real life, if someone like pats my partner on the shoulder, I'm not going, why the F did you touch him?
Right.
But if someone swung on him, I'd beat the shit out of them.
Right.
And I think that is kind of the difference here of what we're talking about.
Yes.
And this book does the former, and I don't care for it. It's real, and it's also like immediate. We don't get the sense that, you know, she's just so bad at fighting and she's really weak.
Right.
But he's developed this complex of like, seriously, please, like, don't mess with her because I'm genuinely so worried that she cannot take care of herself. Like, that would be such a funny take on the touch her or die.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be the alpha over here. It's just that she is so extraordinarily prone to mishaps. Yes. So if you touch her, you'll break her bone.
Yeah,
and what do I have to do here?
My clumsy wife.
Yeah.
But also, like, or even too, if like if it started as like it's a touch her and die because I need her to help complete this quest, and it's less like her specifically, more so like, okay, I'm going to try my best to protect her, and then if something happens, I guess I could try to convince someone else, but like that'd be a hassle, so I'm going to like try to protect her for this reason. And then it develops into like, oh no, I actually really care about her, and that's why I want to protect her.
And that goes so wonderfully hand in hand with the reluctant heroine of her being like, I really don't want to go. My sister died on an adventure, and like I just can't put my family through that again. Because she does make a mention where she's like, my mom's gonna have to have one more grave, that empty grave. And if he's like, okay, I swear to God, if you go on this adventure, no harm will befall you. I promise it.
Right.
And then that's why he's so obsessive about keeping her protected. Then there you go.
Yep.
There's your reason for him being insane.
Yes.
And at first you get the angst of it where she's like, he's really protective and sweet of me. Oh, wait, it's just because he made a promise to me. I don't know if it's actually like coming from a place of love or sincerity or whatever it might be.
Yep.
And then later we find out that even though it started that way, now he does truly love her and like her well-being is super important to him.
Yeah.
And that would fit all of the criteria that we're asking for. But instead it's just an insta love, insta touch her and die, insta mate thing.
We didn't even need the mates in this.
I don't think it mattered.
It didn't matter.
Retconning made it worse.
Other than like she gets some of his powers. But couldn't it just be she can learn magic? Like we could have just done that instead.
Yeah.
It just, once again, it feels like this book is trying to do way too much.
Or like you can challenge somebody at the end to be like, because it feels like the mate thing is a reason to explain why he was immediately in love with her after 4 days.
Yeah.
And even though I still don't like that, you can just say, well, I don't know, that's how I felt about you. Like I'm not the type of person who's gonna question my feelings.
Right.
I only knew you for 4 days, but I still loved you in that moment. I still love you now. And she can be like, okay, you know what? It's not my place to like make you have to explain your feelings. Like,
right.
I should just trust that you love me, and that's fine. That's good enough for me.
Sure.
And that is a more beautiful take on an insta love than just, well, actually, it's because we were mates.
Yeah. Yeah.
That cheapens it to me a little bit.
Exactly. I feel like we are trying to use this as like a reason for why it was insta love, but it doesn't do it in a way that feels satisfying or good.
Yeah.
And yeah, to your point, it does feel very like cheap and hollow to have that as the reason.
The fight scenes in this were fine.
I just didn't care. Like I found myself kind of like glazing over when the fight scenes were happening. Of like, okay, yep, Cinnamon's gonna do her thing. Everything. Maybe she'll get a little hurt, but it'll be fine.
Here's another MacGuffin that you have to go and break, and then go to the next MacGuffin place.
Yeah. Okay.
One of them's hand delivered to you via Dragon Amazon.
Yeah.
And then that guy's your friend now too.
I know. I feel like that was trying to be, oh, this is really stressful because she's got to jump onto the dragon and get it out of the main as this dragon's fighting with her dragon. But I'm just going, well, no, that sort of just saved time.
Yeah.
Like, again, the whole thing was we're trying to rush through this because the longer she has time to gain power, the more demons she can collect to sort of protect the last chalice that we need to break. So this is here because why would she be panicking? I don't know. It just, once again, it just does, there's a lot of holes that don't make sense.
And it's a short book. I read this in
Yeah.
like one night, and it was kind of
Yeah.
easy to get through. So I think in terms, it's putting a lot of stuff into one little novel.
Yeah.
4 chalices, you could have cut out that third one.
Yeah.
Could have just been 3. 3's a great number.
Yeah. Perfect.
3's a great number.
Yeah.
But I guess we had to have them on a boat at some point because they are now pirates.
Because we needed to have them drink, even though nothing came of that.
There were very few consequences to anything in this book.
Yeah.
Like, a normal novel would have a little bit of tension or would make you go, oh, like, you made this choice. I wonder what will come from having, and I'm asking a lot because I'm about to make a Game of Thrones comparison. But Daenerys frees all of the slaves in, I can't remember the area, whatever it's called. But she goes to a place where like slavery is very common and it's like part of the economy. She immediately demands we free the slaves.
Mm-hmm.
And there are economic and social repercussions to that action and that consequence. And this novel is a feel-good novel, so I'm not expecting Cinnamon to have to like, deal with the consequences of having dismantled the entire economy of this one little village. But like nothing she does has a consequence.
Yeah.
At all whatsoever.
Also, it's just certain things like they get on the boat and then they talk, okay, we should go here. So now that that's over, let's get drunk. Let's hold a feast and let's get absolutely wasted.
There's a scene where like the girls plus werewolf guy are kikiing.
Yes!
Being like, here's our advice. Here's what you go do. You go tell him you love him and you make the moves on him because you really want to bone him. And then she chickens out. I'm like, that could have been a really wonderful start to a kind of an impassioned scene where she gets to say, I love you and I want to be with you. But
no, instead she blacks out and she wakes up with
she's
a bunch of cheese queen, the queen of cheese.
Because she's quirky and she, I guess, got drunk and asked for cheese.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna be together forever. I guess, you know what? I guess their one qualm, which gets wrapped up in the same chapter that it was presented, is that she likes to hang out at her house and chill and be lazy. So she says.
Yeah.
Even though she's currently on an adventure that she seems to be doing really wonderfully at. And she's worried that he won't feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And then she tells him that, and he goes, I've never been on a lazy river, but I'm sure I could try. And that was kind of the wrapping up of their emotional arc.
Also, sorry, this thought just came to me. Isn't he gonna like way outlive her?
Well, she got magic now.
Does that increase her lifespan?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that's sad. She's gonna see everyone she loves die outside of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It wasn't even explained in like a...
I feel like you should have had more of a conversation about that before you're agreeing to like take on his magic of like, are you sure you could live with that? Are you sure you want that? We could just like be together without you being like having my little mate mark or whatever.
It's never the opposite. It's always like, even with Edward and Bella's like, please turn me so I can be with you forever and I can still be young. There's never a character who's just like, can I not get turned so I can stay with my friends and family? And
right.
Like, I know this is going to be really hard on you, but I would rather live a mortal life and you're just going to have to deal with the fact that I will die one day.
Right.
No, because the alpha Chad has to have his meek, demure girlfriend who throws apples at people.
Ultimately cares about him the most out of everyone else and would happily see everyone else she loves and knows die so that she can continue to be with him.
A dude that I was dating for 2 weeks is like, choose immortality and live the rest of your life with me. That would mean that you have to watch all of your friends and family die. But like, I've known Steph for how many years now?
Right.
F off, dude. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
And this could have been a great moment for Fallon too, to just talk about his time living as a demon and saying like with the lazy river comment of it all of, I've had to fight my entire life. I'm actually kind of tired of it. I would love to just live a calm, solitude life with you on a farm.
Right.
Growing cinnamon.
Yeah.
And hot peppers. But no, there's like no reflection. None of their background informs their decision making, but it is stated. They state this is what the scenario is like. And here's the decision I've made. And the author didn't want to go back and connect those two dots. They just were like, Yeah.
Their love, baby.
A thing that really annoyed me in this book, besides nachos really annoyed me,
Nachos really annoyed me.
is that Cinnamon had to explain why her hair was pink. In the beginning of the book, it's such a ham-fisted scene, and it was if I hadn't had to read this for our podcast, I would have DNF'd this book so hard.
Yeah.
But she goes to her friend, and her friend is like, "I can't believe you made me dye our hair pink just because you thought it would be fun and silly for us to do." And she's like, "Well, we can dye our hair pink now because we're not the chosen ones. And isn't this a fun and cool thing that we did?" And I went, why were we doing this?
Yeah.
You could just have pink hair.
Right.
You're dating a dragon. Your hair can just be pink.
Yeah. Yeah, there can just be silly hair colors. It doesn't have to be like this.
You didn't explain how nachos found its way to Wandemere, but you had to explain how you had pink hair.
Yeah.
One of these things matters more to me.
And then ties it to like, oh, the one year I decide to dye my hair pink, of course I stumble upon a demon. The one time that I decided to stand down even a little bit, my life has changed. Shut up!
Pink hair, main character energy.
I have pink hair. Yeah, I have pink hair, so I've now become the main character.
Yeah, what about Bree? Bree has pink hair and she's just selling cheese left
She's
and right.
slanging cheese. Didn't say goodbye to Bree. Oh, no, she didn't
No,
say.
she did. Bree was there helping
Bree
her
was
pack.
there, yeah.
And Bree was like, "You're gonna totally doink him." I would bitch slap my friend. This is me. This is me, right? I'm crying.
I'm going, you're gonna doink that guy.
Putting my clothes away. A demon who tried to kill me the night before. I was running for my life. I have asthma.
Thought I was gonna
hard.
die.
Thought I was gonna die.
Mhm.
I have to say bye to my friends and family. I might not come back. The goddess that I've worshipped my entire life is actually an evil witch. And my friend is on my bed going,
You're gonna doink him.
"I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you right now."
Yeah.
And she didn't even offer to have Bree come with her.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, you're my friend. I know this is gonna be potentially, like, perilous. I don't want you to die.
I don't even want to go.
Yeah.
So can you just come with me at least?
Hey, we're in this together. And then Bree could have been the one piloting the ship. We don't even need Usha.
Yeah. Bree could have been getting it on with the snake.
Or the werewolf.
Or the werewolf. I liked the werewolf. What's his name? Frank?
I don't remember.
I remember
his name.
Ambrose
Yeah.
was the snake, and then...
So I like that name. It always sticks with me.
Yeah, Ambrose
That's
is a nice
name.
name. Yeah. But overall, I did not like this book.
I did not like this book, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
Well,
that was the time I got drunk and saved a demon. If you enjoyed this novel, please let us know. I mean, and again, all kudos to you, Kimberly Lemming. You wrote a novel, one that a lot of people enjoyed. Again, I would say Rain Off. Like,
yeah.
I can't do that. I'm just like, it's fine.
I just like, I'm a little...
No, I ask a lot of the books that I read, which
no
is
saying.
like a detriment to my own like enjoyment of books and stuff like that. But I do want so much more from the content that I consume. But if that's not you, and that sounds really pretentious, but it's like a beautiful thing to be like, oh, I'm just reading for the enjoyment of it. For me, when I want to read for the enjoyment, I go to fanfiction.com because I already like those characters.
I also say, like, Bodyguard, I rated it very, very low, but I did enjoy reading it.
That's true.
I didn't really enjoy myself, like, reading this. Like, I can appreciate a book even when it's bad, when I'm having a good time, but it didn't really do anything for me.
No, I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the world.
Yeah.
I really did not like the writing.
No.
Let me see if I can find another
The
passage to read to
leaves.
you guys.
Beautiful.
Every page.
I think I was like, no, that's not fun. I was like, I had a couple of pages written down, but they're like for the more serious scenes.
One line that made me laugh so hard, and it was, "Holy shit, that man's a demon. Quit your belly aching and get him. He's killing Jeff." Yep.
Jeff, no!
He's killing Jeff, guys. Also, she even calls it out here, the cliche of rapist bandits.
Yeah.
They did that in May as well.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm an evil guy and I'll let you essay this
have
woman.
your way.
Yeah, which I don't doubt people have done.
Sure, but like, Why do we need to include that in here?
So our main guy, who speaks very similar to the rapist,
Right.
can be seen as a good person. And this is
Yeah.
something that I kind of like went on a tangent with. I think with our Am I the Asshole episode, and I cut it out, but it's this thing where the Alpha Chad main character talks just like all of the bad dudes in all the other parts of the book, but because he's the main character, for some reason it's okay that he's speaking to her that way.
Right.
Like they're not even together, and he's talking about how he wants to slob on Minab.
Yeah, again, that like the way the first instance of him describing everything he's gonna do to her was so graphic.
And if an ugly guy that she didn't like was like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna
right.
F you so good, girl," that would be assault. That would be
right.
She would be slashing his throat.
Yeah, shooting him with an arrow. I think it was again. It was just like this felt like it was in there exclusively for Cinnamon to be able to help him differentiate. Hey, yes, that one guy, he did a bad thing, but it was like not a killable offense. These guys though, they're rapists, so you can kill them. We don't need that. I don't need that spelled out for me.
Yeah,
like in any context. So
yeah. Okay. I guess demons don't have a differentiation.
But like we didn't need to make that.
The story had enough going for it. They didn't have to have an interlude of like, here's human morality.
Right. It could have just been like, well, he's killing these guys, and I'm like an internal like, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to say anything. It doesn't need to be like, they're rapists. Get them, boys. Because we as people hopefully know. Sure, that makes sense that you're killing these guys.
It's also this weird context. And they don't know how to say this in a way that's not going to get me in trouble. Of like, these men, it doesn't feel like rape is the thing they have the issue with. It's the fact that someone else is going to f their girlfriend is the thing that they have the issue with. And I'm not saying that Fallon would be okay with rape, but the way in which these scenes are written, it's like, oh, you want to sleep with the girl that I'm trying to get with?
Right.
I'll kill you.
It goes back
to I don't actually mind if you rape somebody else.
It goes back to the touch her and die. It's less about genuinely protecting her. It's more about that is mine. Do not touch her.
Right. Like, because it happened in A Touch of Darkness with Hades and Persephone. Of like, it seemed less that Hades cared that Adonis was going around drugging women's drinks, and more that he was trying to get with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So actually, he doesn't care about women and doesn't care about SA. He just doesn't like the idea of someone else's dick in his girl. And that is, like, rape is obviously very bad. I don't want to have to give, like, I don't want to make it seem as though I don't think that that's wrong.
I think that's what we're trying to get at, though, right?
Right. It matters to me that these main characters, are upset with the bad guys because they are even threatening rape at all in general, and they don't have to say, "I'm a feminist and I care about women, and so men who do that are wrong." It's just got to be, what a gross threat. You're gross.
Right. Hey.
Yeah. I'm just tired of that. I'm tired of it.
Tired of this grandpa.
I'm tired of this grandpa. It's too damn bad. We're gonna have to keep reading more books like this, where the main guy can say things like, "Spread your legs, I'm gonna lick it," before they've even got together. But if old Joe down the road said that, his head's coming off. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is saying nasty shit to Cinnamon. But if someone else said the same exact nasty shit to Cinnamon, he'd kill him.
Right after someone has said nasty shit to Cinnamon, he goes, "Only I can say that.
Only me, a guy she's known for 4 days,
who she hasn't even said that she likes back at this point in time. But we just know that she likes him.
One of these days, these characters have to be like, "Hey, you can't talk to me like that. You cannot talk to me like that. That's weird and gross."
It's no, yeah,
no. It's like, we can cut this out. But like, imagine if your boyfriend on the first date was saying shit like that. There would not be a second date.
No.
That is a stranger. That is not
right.
But again, these authors forget that when they meet these people, they are strangers. In this author's mind, they're already together. They're already going to be in love.
Right.
So she's treating it as if, yeah, they've already decided they're going to be together. So it's okay. You can talk to her that way.
Right.
Gross.
Yeah. So that was that's how I got drunk and saved a demon.
Yippee.
as per usual, you can find us in numerous places. You can watch our full episodes on YouTube, or you can listen to them on Spotify. We're also on TikTok. We're on Instagram.
Yeah,
What
and our
else?
next episode for this month, first of all, happy holidays, happy
Yeah.
Christmas, happy Hanukkah, and happy solstice.
Yeah. Happy Yule.
Happy Yule. Please put out the Yule log for us in honor of us. But yeah, so our next episode this month, we're going to be doing a tiered list ranking. So I know we talk a lot about the various tropes that we do and do not like on our review episodes. You can see directly what we do like.
Yeah.
And that'll be a fun one for us to film.
Absolutely.
I was texting stuff. I'm like, it's giving. I'm going to my friend's house after school to play video games. And then our Patreon episode for this month, I think we talked about it earlier. But we're going to be going through some really bad sex scenes.
Yeah.
And that is going to be quite comical. And I actually don't know if I would say these are bad sex scenes. They're just not for me sex scenes.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
We've read way worse.
Yeah, we have.
But that's on our Patreon. We don't want to get demonetized. And so
Yeah.
if you're interested in hearing that, join our Patreon. We have a couple of tiers, but for $5 you get extra episodes, and that's our lovers tier.
Be in love with us. And then, yeah, we briefly mentioned our next book pick for the month of January will be More Than Life by Bethany Finger. I've already started to read and I really like it, so hopefully we'll have one that we are actually rating highly.
It looks like a satisfying fantasy. I sweir we do love books. Like we just read 2 books that we love.
We're like kind of too good at reading.
It's just too highbrow. It's just
I got too much hater energy. Is what it boils down to.
So recommend some good romance novels for us in the comments. But we'll see you later.
Yeah, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.